All right, what's up, everybody? This is Hashim, known in the streets as Hashade, coming at you with another dope black drop. All right, so came across these internet streets. This article talking about something that happened in Alabama, a place that I sometimes refer to as home, not because I'm from there, but because my grandfather is from there, and we used to go down to Alabama during the summers, back when road trips were actually a thing that black families used to do. Um, but this article kind of reminded me as to some of the reservations I had at going down there after I became an adult, right? After I got grown, I hated going down there because of the vibe. It was a white Alabama news anchor who had the unmitigated gall to throw a banana at a black Harlem Globetrotter in the year of our Lord 2020. Like, to just to fathom that, right? That some white boy had the audacity to take his grown ass self, grab a banana, and make the conscious decision to throw it at a black Harlem Globetrotter, a grown ass black man. But the coincidence or the irony that he had to be a Harlem Globetrotter, he couldn't have thrown it somebody from the Miami Heat. He couldn't have thrown it from somebody from Washington Wizards, but he had to be a Harlem Globetrotter, right? We just know that's black all the way up and down. Um, but the fact that it was a news anchor in Alabama that did this blows my mind in 2020. So this was never acceptable from the side of being a black person, but American culture, yeah, there was a point in time when this type of stuff happened every day and you just had to suck it up and move on. But I think where America has always had a history of failing black people, but where we have failed America is the fact that we don't stop on the dime and stump a mud hole in somebody's ass that treats us anything less than a human. Um, and I understand how to flip to the legal ramifications of assault and all this type of stuff. And I know black folks ain't never got justice anywhere in this country, except for OJ. I think he did it, but I was happy that the criminal justice system let this one go in retribution for all of our ancestors who were sitting at home in the middle of their living room and got accused of doing something 200 miles away, right? When they weren't there. But nonetheless, if we start whooping ass when we start getting disrespected, and then we follow up and start showing up to jury duty to make sure that that black defendant that decided to whoop ass when his or her personhood was disrespected, then hey, things will start to change. But what do I know? What do I say? And as I'm talking, I'm thinking, isn't Alabama one of those stand your ground states? So could he have actually made that news reporter walk with Jesus be a little closer when he, send that reporter to go stand at the pearly gates and still been able to use the laws of this good country that we built, that we shed our blood for, let those laws step in and then protect him, because it is a stand his ground type of thing, and throwing a banana at someone is actually committing that offense that says, I want to engage and take my shot at you possibly killing me. I consent to that. When you throw a banana at someone unprovoked, I really believe that you are consenting to letting whatever they decide to give you happen to you. So, we have to rebuke this spirit of respectability politics. Well, no, that's a reflection on them. That's not a reflection on me. True. That is a reflection on them. But how you respond to it is a reflection on you. We tell women all the time, a man's only going to do to you and respect you in a dating relationship with what you let him get away with. Well, why isn't the same applicable in life when it comes to the mistreatment of others towards us, right? If we put the fear of God into people, the fear of God for them to treat us anything less than human. Like this has always been our push. Our push has never been to have vengeance. Our push has always been to like, damn, just let me live and survive. But if we treated those who did not want us to just exist, did not just want us to mind our own black business, if we gave some of them some of that Old Testament God, I really think that we would create a better future for our youth and our children and their children and so on and so forth. Because people only treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. And it's all about sacrifice. I'm sacrificing my pride. I'm sacrificing the image for my son, for my nephew, for my daughter, for my nieces when they see me cower down, tuck tail, and take this type of treatment, right? That's all sacrifice. Or else they would see a sacrifice that said, my daddy, my uncle, my brother beat the living dog shit out of that person that came and threatened our lives. And we're not having it anymore. If we just act the same way they acted at the Boston Tea Party, if we just act the same way they just acted in World War I, II, Vietnam, Korea, all that type of stuff, whenever Americans are threatened, Americans respond. If we provided the swift response that we provided when America was attacked for 9/11, with that shock and awe and that type of decimation that occurred to those people that destroyed or attacked America, if as Americans we treat other people, whether they're American or not, that try to destroy us, that try to attack us, if we treat them with that same type of fervence and energy, what do you think the future would look like? Especially when these type of people, this is Alabama, right? When these type of people that have the seeds, their heritage, that's the word they like to use, that heritage of a racist past, of an anti-American past, right? That Confederate heritage, that stuff that was treasonous to the United States, right? That they were a foreign entity. I mean, they were a domestic terrorist, right? But if they had won, it would be a foreign entity anytime they stepped north of the Mason-Dixon line, right? So if you choose to honor something, and I'm speaking to you now as a United States Navy veteran, right? If you choose to honor something that wants to attack and destroy America, you're an enemy. And all Americans should use all of their power to put you out so that we can protect America. So we cannot continue to honor the ways of the Confederacy and think that we just can't say that it's okay and that's heritage and we're just going to accept that. Bullshit. No, absolutely not. So we have to continue to move forward and demand that we are treated like white, straight, Christian, rich, white men, right? That's all I want. Just treat me like I'm a white guy. That's what I fight for. If it's okay for a white guy to do it, why it's not okay for me to do it? So I just did a quick search, and I haven't did the deep diving in this, but I believe that the Harlem Globetrotter apologized.
Received.
Oh, I'm sorry. Stop or edit.
No, I can.
All right. So I just did a quick search, and I haven't really dug deep into the apology, but the Harlem Globetrotter received an apology from, I believe it was legislator Maxwell Hopes Pierce. Yeah, that was the Republican guy. No, damn it, I didn't mess that up.
No, you're fine.
Because it wasn't the Republican, it was the anchor that did it, right? All right. You know, I can't read and talk at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. All this can cut out.
And I'm not recognizing technology. I'm trying to talk all the way through, like.
And so what they're trying to say is that in a moment of levity during a segment, two members of my team were tossing fruit as well as a basketball. One of them threw a banana without knowing the racial implications of that action. So that's how they're trying to portray it.
All right, so I just did a quick dive right quick, or it just came across my radar, that the Harlem Globetrotter actually received an apology from this racist that threw the banana, and it states that in a moment of levity, during a segment, two members of my team were tossing fruit as well as a basketball. This is what Isabel said during the show. One of them actually threw a banana without knowing the racial implications of the action. Man, if you don't get the hell out of my face, like, to hell with you and that horse you rode in on, right? Because your parents have failed you. Your parents have, if this is true, your parents have failed you because they have not raised you to be aware of society. They have not raised you to understand context and nuance. They've just raised you in a bubble. And when people say this type of stuff, I'm like, man, your mom would have did a better job swallowing. Or just sliding back 2 inches. So, and how are you a professional, a news anchor?
I don't know if I can roll that. I don't know if I can roll with it. I'm here for it.
All right.
I'm here for it, but I don't know if I could just put out your mama should have swallowed. You're gonna make me go FCC? So we want actually.
All right.
So we actually want to be able to use these on the radio.
Okay. All right. So when I look at this apology.
Let's go.
When I look at this apology, and I'm thinking about how these people that do this type of stuff, they've been failed. They've been failed in life. Their parents have failed them, right? And they've just actually been a waste of resources. They've been a waste of energy. They've been a waste of time. Because if you are a professional, a grown-ass adult, and you're professional, how do you make these type of comments? How are you not aware? How is your team not aware of the racial implications? So the person that threw it wasn't aware, but you were sitting up there and you were watching it, and you're saying that you weren't aware? Because you could have called that up like, yo, that's not cool. Like, yeah, like, listen, that is so not cool. And, okay, how can we not be aware of these type of things when we just had our first black president in office come out of office, and we know all the stuff that they were saying that him and his wife, that Michelle and Barack Obama, look like monkeys, and all the banana references and all that type of stuff. And it's Alabama. Like, this is part of your cultural heritage. So I'm saying this a waste. I'm saying that all this could have been prevented if only, you know, and I don't know what years these people were born in. I know Roe versus Wade happened in 1973, but there were other forms of birth control, like the oral method. Right? So, nonetheless, the struggle continues. The next time that someone does this, we need to teach them a lesson to make their apology actually mean something, right? Like, oh, I'm so sorry I didn't know that, but I'm going to now learn that I should do better as I have this lump on my head, now that I have to have liquid meals for the next 6 weeks. Like, yeah, I can accept your apology after you've learned one of those type of lessons. Maybe, maybe not. But I believe an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, so just treat me, you know, this old good Christian states, treat me how you want me to treat you. There's a message in that. Thank you very much for your time. Once again, this is Hashim, known in these streets as Hashade, and I'm just coming at you with another dope black drop.